channel. My name is Ben. This is my Polaris 2022 Turbo R 4-seater. I affectionately call it dog toy. I have two St. Bernards. They definitely love to go riding. So right now we're working on the machine. No one's riding anywhere and the dogs are kind of upset with me. They don't know what happened to it. So as we move forward in this build, I've got two things I kind of wanted to go over and we're going to install, and I want to show some comparisons, and I'll tell you what I mean by that in a little bit. But I have a Razorback belt temperature switch and gauge, and I have a DynoJet tuner. Like, these things don't have enough power already, but we're going for it. So with a DynoJet tuner, I have the center mount to mount it over my gauge cluster, and so you want a belt temperature gauge. I got the left hand side mount. Guess what? They share the same bolt and they're real tight together. I highly doubt that that's really going to work out all that well. Well, DynoJet has the solution. DynoJet has their own belt temperature switch that works with the tuner. Size comparison to Razorbacks. I can't believe how small this is, and it's going to take the temperature of your belt. Technology is amazing these days. So I'm going to use this one. My buddy is actually putting this on his Pro R. So I'll be able to see how they work side by side, and I'll do another video at a later date when we actually get to play with these. These are in no shape to go out and play right now just because they're still tore completely apart, but we are getting closer to the end, which I'm getting excited about. So going back to the DynoJet, with a sensor, you get a Y cable. You're going to the diagnostic port on the machine. This is actually where it gets power from. This one, with the correct extension cable for a 4-seater, takes me back to the sensor. Everything plugs together. No wiring involved. This looks like a piece of cake to put together. It grabs the center bolt in my gauge cluster for a Polaris Razor. They give you a nice stainless steel bolt. The mount itself is aluminum. The part that actually grabs the unit is plastic, but it's fairly heavy. It just snaps on, grips it really well. It just plugs into the side of it. I'm hoping this is fairly watertight. A friend of mine that I know has one of these already and has used it for over a year, and they're really happy with it. So that's kind of what pushed me to get it. Plus, we can play around a little bit. I don't get to do that too often. So the Razorback, we got the left-hand mount, we got the blacked out gauge, and gee, it comes with a switch. And it's a momentary switch. The ones that I've seen, they look like they register your temperature all the time. I'm wondering if this one doesn't. After the installation, we're actually gonna find that out. We're not doing any kind of a belt blower or anything, but part of the reason that drove the purchase of these, we were up in Silver Lake. I could smell my belt The other thing is I am going to play around with clutching, and I'm going to see if I can change its tune a little bit and see if how much that affects heat, because heat is slippage, and you don't want either one of them. So stay tuned. I'll be installing them on both machines. Alright, I finally got my head wrapped around the switch. It is just for toggling through functions on the gauge. The gauge will be on anytime the key is on. For the dimmable, the two terminals on the edge are for power for the light. And it appears to be ground or black is your orphan off to the side. Power is in line with the other two. The other two are just contact closure, like I said, just to cycle through the functions on the gauge. Alright, finished up installing the Razorback gauge on the Pro R. You can see it's mounted on the left hand side of the dash. All the wiring's all tucked up as best I could get it. I probably could have cut off the wires, but I had hooked it all up before I had thought about that. Everything's all fits down nice and tight. Everything should go back together. There's the gauge mount on top of the steering wheel. I did put a zip tie down here to hold all the wiring so that it moves with the steering wheel all right. And then of course we followed all the other wiring down the center. The fun part was the first time that we ever pulled the belt off the back of this machine. The easiest sensor location was right here in the middle. They give you some different places you can put it, but unless you've got pullers to pull the pulleys off, and so you can do it from the inside, it's a whole lot easier just to do it right in the center. All the wiring is tucked out of the way so that it's not in the way. I can see we can need one more zip tie up in here yet. We don't want that vibrating around, so I'll come back to that. So there's the installation for the Pro R. So installation on the Turbo R. You can't put it center of the belt because of the way the housing is. Recommended is back here. I have marked the location. I'm going to drill it with a bed out on my Turbo R. It's a straight shot with a drill bit. It'll be really easy. I've watched a couple other installation videos. There's a few of these on here. I get down in here. There's a little casting rib right here. You want to try to be to the back of that as far as you can, but you don't want to get too tight to your, I'm guessing that's the air mass, or actually that looks like throttle valve motorized is what that actually looks like. So I'm going to drill the hole and start getting the wiring run forward. Alright, belt temperature switch is installed. The DynoJet one does come with a lock nut. The Razorback, we used thread locker on it to keep it from coming loose. It's hard to see, but I installed an O-ring on the bottom of mine. That should keep it from leaking. They mentioned something about using RTV or something, but I didn't have any handy. But it's good. It's good and solid. It's not going to vibrate or move. So I feel real comfortable with it. Then you can see I took the wire up and followed the wiring harness on up to the front. So all that's left to do is put my belt cover back on, and that pretty much completes the installation of both styles. Well, this is what it looks like installed. And like the Pro R, I followed the cable down because this is a tilt column and attached it to the gauge cluster wiring. So it shouldn't get pinched or anything. Everything moves like it should. Hope you guys are enjoying my videos. Hopefully I'll get my rock lights and whip lights done this next weekend. I'd like to get a couple more videos up. Won't be long and I'll be doing the Inferno heater.